welcome to episode number 9 of a solo Wrestling Gremlins podcast. I'm your host, Bobby. Nick actually is on location at a TNA house show where he actually says he is the only one there. Sorry, TNA soldiers, I had to. No, he had prior engagements. We were going to do it together, but my son was sick, and by the time I was able to get back, he actually had people over, so, shit happens. But I personally want to apologize for last week. I had some family issues that I did not handle too well, and I take full responsibility for that. That was my fault, not Nick's. He was ready to go. I was on radio silence with everybody for about 4 days, so sorry about that. But with that being said, let's get started. We actually had the championship for Extreme Rules for the Wrestling Gremlins podcast, and I don't know what Nick and Amanda got, but me, I went undefeated. I got all the matches right. So still, in the words of Paul Heyman, your reigning, defending Wrestling Gremlins champion, me, Bobby. But with that, I'll go over the whole results. The first match, we had the pre-show match. We had Baron Corbin defeat Dolph Ziggler with a brutal uppercut to the dick. Straight just uppercut him, almost like a Street Fighter, tiger uppercut right to the balls. Ziggler dropped. I almost cried because it looked that brutal. I felt bad for Ziggler. I feel bad for Ziggler a lot just because he has so much talent. He flops around, he sells really well. But at the end of the day, they're talking about this new era. Baron Corbin, if they push him right, he can be a big star. We call him Boring Corbin, because right now he's a little bland. He doesn't really have much of a story to him besides he's the lone wolf. But he's a big guy. Vince loves that style. He loves having big dudes who have muscles. He has the tattoos. If he cut his hair, God, the balding on him. But yeah, but he got the victory. The next one, which I was excited about, because I'm not the biggest fan of the Usos. Everybody knows this. I think they're very talented, but same with Roman Reigns. I think they should almost make their own club, doing the whole family thing, but turning heel. I think they're just far overdue of being heels. They haven't been a heel since they've been with Tamina when they first got in the WWE. But they went against the club, that is Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And yeah, I thought that was actually one of the better matches of the night. And the club came out with the victory. If you saw Raw, what I'm going to talk about later, the club needs to form more people. I think, with the Bullet Club, how many members do they have? And I guess over time you can do that. Sooner or later, especially with this draft, Finn Balor is going to come up sooner or later, and hopefully he's with them. But I could see them turning on AJ later too, and who knows? Maybe that's what happens. Maybe they'll all go together later. The next match, we have Rusev versus Kalisto. I picked Rusev to win this, and I was right. And Jesus fucking Christ, man. The way he put on the accolade, it looked like he scorpioned Kalisto. His back looked like it was seriously about to break. And Kalisto, man, he has so much talent. And he doesn't botch he does botch, don't get me wrong, But if you remember the old Sin Cara, he botched so much. It makes the other Sin Cara look great in comparison. Who is I forget his name offhand. Who used to be in it's at the tip of my tongue. He used to ride the bike, or the guy with the bike. Hunico, that's his name, Hunico. But yeah, Sin Cara, and Kalisto, they were a good tag team. But I want to see them kind of feud, do a side little story. But I don't know where they're going to go with that. But Rusev looked just dominating in this, and especially that accolade. That just looks brutal. If he keeps putting that on, which he's done now a few times, and he's going to fight Titus O'Neil next, and I don't think he can do that to O'Neil. He can do that to Ryder. He can do that to Kalisto. But when it comes down to bigger guys, how is he going to do that to people without really physically hurting them? Putting him that much back pressure is just asking for an injury sooner or later. I don't know. I just think it's going to be brutal sooner or later, and it's going to be bad. The next match, you got the New Day, which was Xavier Woods and Big E against the Vaudevillains. I like both these tag teams. The Vaudevillains, Simon Gotch and Aiden English. Jeez, I can't talk today. Aiden English, they're really good. And then, everybody in the New Day. I know everybody kind of shits on Xavier Woods because he was Consequences Creed over in TNA, and they haven't really showcased him to do what he can do. But he's actually super talented. He's an amazing talent. Big E, he's a star if you could just push him right. And what can we say about Kofi? Kofi's been around for a long time, not a long time, but what, 8 years? You say on Raw a couple nights ago. He just, there's not enough to be said about Kofi. The whole Randy Orton thing, and Orton got pissed off and kind of just de-pushed Kofi because, God forbid Randy Orton gets pissed off and no one listened. That little fucking crybaby, but Orton's a beast too. I wouldn't want to fuck with him. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with Kofi. New Day, as I predicted, got the victory here. And, good for them, because I don't want to, I like the Vaudevillains, but I think it's way too soon for them to win it. For them to win it. I think, in my personal opinion, I think the club needs to come and beat the New Day, and then beat them again so they'll have, the rematch, and then have Enzo and Kaz take the belt from the club. And that would probably be at SummerSlam or some big event, because Enzo and Kaz, they've always been fucked over. Every time they've had a title match against, it doesn't matter. They've had a few title shots against the ones, I think, against the Revival, I think, and then against someone else before, I forget offhand. And they just you always think it's time for them to do it. It's time for them. Even like NXT in Brooklyn last year, they were on like a pre-show. Like they were on NXT like the next week because they didn't want to have them on the main pay-per-view, which that tag team right now is printing money in WWE. There's nothing that is stopping that team right now besides maybe injury. And I only see Big Kaz going to get that major singles push, though, because Enzo's a smaller guy. He has the gift of gab and the gift of jab, as he would say himself. They're both great together. People want to compare them to the New Age Outlaws, but they're totally different. Road Dogg can talk and Billy couldn't, but Billy was the muscle. Billy wasn't 7 feet fucking tall, but I guess that kind of equals out because Enzo's so small. But maybe he just looks small because he's next to Kaz. Either way, New Day still remains the champions. They retain. And, good for them. I think that's what needed to happen at this point. This next match, though, I think this next match was, I think it was the match of the night. You had The Miz, who is highly underrated. A lot of people like to shit on him because, he was on The Real World. Yeah, but dude, he's paid his dues over the years, man, and he's great on the mic. And I think having him doing this whole I'm a movie star, and he brought in Maurice, that's cool. That's his wife. They must have chemistry. They've been together for a few years now, and you could tell on screen that he always changes his stuff up. You remember when he was with John Morrison? Yeah, man, having the whole dirt sheet. He was the chick magnet, and what would John Morrison call himself? He had a bunch of things. He was a shaman of sexy. They were great, and I think, sooner or later they will bring John Morrison back. But if The Miz, he's always elevated himself to a different character and a different level of like awesomeness, I guess, as he would say. He always does something to make himself fresh. And he's always just kind of like, after the whole WrestleMania thing with The Rock and John Cena, it's just kind of one of those things where you want him to do better, but a lot of people don't, I guess, because they don't like him. But me personally, I'm actually kind of a big fan of The Miz. So it was The Miz versus Cesaro, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn. Right there, those three guys, all Ring of Honor alumni, all amazing. All amazing in their own right. It's very known that I think my favorite wrestler right now is Kevin Owens. And I didn't think any of those three should have won this match because they should go to the Money in the Bank. That's why I took The Miz to win this. But this match was all over the place. It was just amazing. Like all the spot fest things they were doing and all the close finishes. And, here comes The Miz out of nowhere being that slimy fucking heel who comes in and steals the victory. That's what he needs to do. He's never going to overpower Cesaro. He's never going to beat up Owens. And Sami Zayn is just too damn resilient. He needs to be sneaky. He needs to be deviant. He needs to get there and just steal one from you and just stab you in the heart. He can beat people like Zack Ryder. He can beat people like Ziggler, which they kind of went back and forth in their careers, which, once again, going back to Ziggler, I think he should be treated better, but who the fuck am I to say? But yeah, The Miz gets the victory here, and he remains your Intercontinental Champion. And I ask you the question, who should beat The Miz? Who should beat The Miz for the championship? You know, I've been thinking about this long and hard. I've been thinking about it because, okay, there's only one Money in the Bank winner. Do you push one of them back? What about the next pay-per-view? What about Money in the Bank? Who the fuck is going to challenge The Miz? Is he going to do that whole, oh, I'm on location, so I'm not there, but you're going to see me. You're going to see me all the time. I'm going to do these videos. I don't think that elevates the Intercontinental Championship. Nick does not agree with me. He thinks that's actually really cool and it's different. But I've always been a big advocate of saying someone needs to go for the title. Someone needs to be there. Someone needs to make that important. If you don't have the okay, prime example. How many people were pissed off that Brock Lesnar was not there when he was the champion? Paul Heyman would come out, but no Brock. And everybody's like, oh, I'm so fucking tired of Brock Lesnar being champion. He was a believable champion. You know, he was a great champion in my opinion, but he should have been there more. Same with The Rock. When The Rock had the belt, he was never fucking there. You know, oh, thank God they got the belt off CM Punk, who was there every fucking day just so they can do the rematch of having John Cena versus The Rock, you know, part 2, where Cena got the belt back. It was such a waste, man. They should have gave that, you know, that championship thing, maybe even put CM Punk in a triple threat. Why put him against The Undertaker? Yes, and I know what you're thinking. The Undertaker is a fucking legend, and I take nothing away from The Undertaker. When I was a kid, he was one of my favorites. You know, I think my favorites of all time, if I had to list them in order, I think the one who got me into wrestling was probably the Ultimate Warrior. Then I really like Jake the Snake Roberts a lot. You know, the whole thing. I really like Jake, how he was, the way he would, his verbalization of just saying, hey, I'm not going to yell at you. I'm going to make this really scary and just talk really quiet. A big reason why I like Bray Wyatt's promos, because he's also learning from Jake. You know, okay, so after that, I liked Bret Hart. I know he wasn't the most charismatic, but for some reason, when he was fighting against Yokozuna, you know, and even when he fought against Mr. Perfect when he was Intercontinental Champion, and what about when he fought against the British Bulldog? And not to speak about, but like all the matches that he had against his brother before he died. Bret Hart was amazing. He was one of my favorites. After Bret, of course, come on, man. Who didn't grow up loving Stone Cold Steve Austin? Stone Cold Steve Austin changed wrestling for me a lot. You know, of course, it was the Attitude Era and a lot of more edgy product. But Stone Cold Steve Austin, man, you can't. I guess you can argue saying like, you know, John Cena, you know, Hulk Hogan, you know, Bruno Sammartino. But really, at the end of the day, who do you put as the all-time wrestler? Who do you put on that Mount Rushmore as the number one guy if you have in your company? If you can have everybody ever, who would you put? Hard to argue, but I would go with Stone Cold Steve Austin. He made everybody love wrestling. You know, The Rock would be up there too. The Rock's not one of my favorites. I mean, I love The Rock, but he's not on my top 5. You know, but yeah, I'd go Stone Cold Steve Austin after that. After that, I got really into ECW. You know, I was loving teams like, you know, the Impact Players, you know, the Dudleys, Spike Dudley, you know, Tommy Dreamer, Raven, Sandman, Sabu. But my favorite guy of all time in ECW, who became my favorite for a very long time in every company, yeah, man, Rob Van Dam, the whole fucking show, Mr. Monday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View. He had the World Television Championship for about, god near 2 years? 2 fucking years. That is unheard of. That's even longer than CM Punk's title reign, which is the transition to my favorite wrestler after that, which is the best in the world. Sorry, Bryan Danielson. I know that was your gimmick, but yeah, CM Punk took it in WWE. And honestly, CM Punk's, he's so, you know, charismatic, and he's such a good wrestler. He had everything. He was a total package, you know. But if you don't have the backing of Triple H, which, how do you beat him in the Summer of Punk? How do you have Triple H go over? Oh, because I'm the COO. I'm the game. Who gives a shit? He's eaten so many pins for other people that he likes. You know, he did it for Daniel Bryan. Come on, man. Like, what, you couldn't fucking just lay your fucking shoulders on the mat for CM Punk just to get him more over? He would have been one of the biggest stars of all time if they would have booked him right. He beat John Cena. He beat Alberto Del Rio. He beat Daniel Bryan, but it's always on undercard matches. Unless he was, against John Cena, it was always undercard. John Cena always had to be the main event against somebody. He didn't even have the fucking belt. What happened? What happened to having the champion be the main guy? God damn, man, if Roman Reigns can't be at every main event, well, he's so big. Man, I'm tired of Samoan Cena. And I know a lot of people give him a lot of shit. I think he's gotten better. But he can't talk to save his fucking life. Yeah, girls fucking wet their pants over him. Who gives a shit? I know my girlfriend wets her pants over fucking Seth Rollins, and I think he's a far better wrestler and far better on the mic. Seth Rollins is fucking amazing. After that, after CM Punk, I'd have to say that my favorite wrestler right now is Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens, just like CM Punk, just like Daniel Bryan, just like Seth Rollins, which, Seth Rollins has always been kind of projected to be the future, and fucking deservingly so, man. Seth Rollins is amazing at what he does. He works his ass off, and he's done it since he was 19, maybe younger. His first match, I was watching that WWE 24 on Seth Rollins, which I highly recommend. Highly. Thank you, Nick, by the way. If you're listening right now, thank you for actually turning me on to that. I didn't even know about it until you told me, since I was on radio silence when I first talked to you after all that. Yeah, me and Tina, we watched that, and dude, it was really well done. It made you like Seth Rollins a whole lot more, and you see his backstory. His first match was against AJ fucking Styles in a fucking, at a bingo hall, in front of his grandma and his friends. And AJ Styles put him over after that match. AJ won, but he was always saying, this is the future. This guy's going to be the guy. And then when he was Tyler Black in Ring of Honor, everybody said he's going to be a star. And Seth Rollins is a star. But if you look at Kevin Owens, he's always been he's going to be something. But no one ever thought, because the way he looks, me being a little bit of a heavier set guy, my girlfriend always says, oh, you kind of look like Kevin Owens. Dude, as he looks like a normal dude, but he can do things like a luchador. When he was Kevin Steen going against, El Generico, who is Sami Zayn, of course. Well, no, actually, no, it's not true. I just hear they kind of know each other loosely. I actually hear that El Generico is actually teaching kids in, where is he? Tijuana, Mexico? Somewhere in Mexico. El Generico is teaching kids, orphans. But when El Generico was facing Kevin Steen, there were epic-ass matches. I saw a match between Kevin Steen and AJ Styles. Those matches were so good. They were so good. Like, the way they're performing now, they can't perform in WWE because someone's going to goddamn kill themselves. But yeah, Kevin Owens is probably my favorite, and not far behind is Seth Rollins, who we just talked about. But right there, The Miz is still your Intercontinental Champion. Sorry about the tirade, but those are my favorites, so now you know. The next match was fucking disappointing. There were some really, really good spots, but it was really, really disappointing. Dean Ambrose versus Chris Jericho. I do like both these guys, but it was way too long, way too drawn out, and I think the spot I was waiting for, which, the thumbtack thing was brutal. And God, man, you got to give Chris Jericho so much credit. Man, when he was Lionheart Chris Jericho all over the world and ECW, and going to WCW with Ralphus and, the man of 1,004 holds, Chris Jericho's always been great. He's a fucking legend. He will always be great in my heart. But, especially now, my jacket was $15,000. He's still being that fucking heel. He's still being a piece of shit, and that's what makes Jericho so great. He can make you love him, and all of a sudden just slap you right in the face, call you a stupid idiot, and he's already back to being a heel. Does a great job. Dean Ambrose, he was my favorite guy in the Shield. As much as I love Seth Rollins, as much as I think he's great, man, when they had the Shield, my favorite guy was Dean Ambrose because he was fucking crazy. Now he's a watered-down crazy. He's like that guy who, takes too many drinks at the bar, and you're just like, this guy, I don't want to fuck with this guy, but whatever. He's just kind of walking around. He's kind of the weirdo, He's kind of more of a comedic character at this point. Even though, yeah, he's still badass. Don't get me wrong. When he was Jon Moxley doing the CZW shit, doing all that crazy shit, which he can't do in WWE. I understand. But make him really fucking crazy. Make him actually look that he's nuts. Make him do something crazy I have this asylum. No, dude, you have a fucking steel cage with a bunch of weapons. And yeah, I don't know, man. The one spot I was waiting for, and they never brought it to fucking fruition, was bring Mitch the Plant. The Plant was there. I'm not sure if it's like, Francesca number 2, like the New Day, but maybe that was Mitch number 2. Maybe that was Son of Mitch. Son of a Mitch. Maybe it was. I don't know, but they never fucking used it. And that's what the spot should have been. Even if Jericho got the win, which he didn't, Ambrose got the win here, one of them should have got it and then maybe stole it from the other one, or never even stole it. Just hit the guy with Mitch. Use that. You put such a big emphasis, and all the fans were loving, oh, we want Mitch. We want Mitch. Give them Mitch. Get him with the fucking potted plant right to the head. Crack it over the head. 1, 2, 3. Do it. No. What they did is they use all these fucking weapons, not even the main weapons first. They use like, here's a kendo stick. Everybody's seen the top of the cage kendo stick action. I'm going to put you in a straitjacket. Then make it a fucking straitjacket match if everybody's so crazy. That's what the rule should have been fucking, like, right there. It's an asylum match. Whoever gets the fucking thing and gets the guy in the steel cage wrapped up inside the straitjacket should have won that match. But no, they got the main spot in this match, was when they got up there and you see Dean Ambrose get this bucket, like a mop bucket, and it was cool. It was cool. Like, dropping all, surprising. Oh, there's thumbtacks. It was cool. And it took forever, but Jericho, but what you want? You want to drag it out, though. You don't want to be like, oh, here's the thing, drop. You want to drag it out. But it was a little too dragged out. It was a little too delayed for me. Maybe I was just kind of getting too worn out in this match because it took about 20-something minutes where it should have been about maybe 12 to 15. But yeah, man, Jericho, fucking man, how he got dropped on those thumbtacks. That must have hurt like a son of a bitch. But yeah, Ambrose got the victory. He won his match. He won the Asylum match, first ever one. I, for one, would say fuck this match. Bring the War Games, man, and maybe they will. Maybe they'll have the Club versus somebody, like, maybe look at the Wyatts versus the Club. That'd be great. In like 2 rings, put the cage, the double cage over them. Let them go to fucking town. But yeah, at the end of the day, Dean Ambrose won this match. There you go. Next match, this one was fucking stupid. The submissions match by Natalya and Charlotte. And I like Charlotte, in NXT, and I kind of even like what she's kind of been doing if they just did it a little bit better. I don't like how on Raw, which I'll talk about in a little bit, how they got rid of Ric Flair, but I mean, it's whatever. In this match, Natalya is an amazing technical wrestler. No one can deny that. But how many times can you just shit on her, man? She puts everybody over, and that's cool. But when are you actually going to have her win the belt even for 1 month, and then just have somebody take it? That's what they should have done the first time. Have Charlotte lose the belt to her, and then have Charlotte just beat the shit out of her the next time. And then, because you'll still have Money in the Bank. You'll still have Money in the Bank to fall on, and then have, Charlotte win again, work that up, and then SummerSlam, have Sasha beat it off Charlotte. But I guess they don't want to flip-flop. They want to show this is a champion who's going to be a champion for a long time. But once again, Charlotte needed help. You hear Ric Flair's dun 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 dun, and you see this robe. I thought it was Charles Robinson, but no, it was not. It was Dana Brooks. Dana Brooke got over there, and she was the distraction that Charlotte needed, and Charlotte did the whole submission, did the figure 8. Charlotte retained her belt. And I didn't see Natalya doing this, and this is what I'm thinking. Me and Nick have been talking about why Natalya does the things she does and the way she is. And I don't know. I really don't know why she gets shat on, but there's a lot of wrestlers like that. There's a lot of wrestlers who don't get pushed to the moon, even though probably deserving they should. Like, look at Damien Sandow. Damien Sandow was over. Cody Rhodes was over. Why they broke up Rhodes Scholars was beyond me. But you have people who really are already over, and they just want to de-push them because it's not the people they think they get over, a.k.a. Roman Reigns. Even though I think if Roman went heel, it'd be a lot better. But yeah, so, Charlotte gets the victory. And now we're getting to the main event of the evening of Roman Reigns versus the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ Styles, he's been doing this for so many years. And the way he flies around, you wouldn't think he's 38 years old, but he is. And Roman Reigns, man, to give him credit, the fans were shitting on him all night. He did a great job. This match was really, really good. Not the biggest pop of the night, because that's coming later. You know who's coming out later. But in this whole time, AJ's doing this. He's getting power bombed through through tables. Roman's getting hit with the Styles Clash on chairs. The club comes out. The Usos come out. It's all over the fucking place. AJ hit him with the Styles Clash. He's like, it's over. It's fucking over. Nope, he's not. So he's about to do the phenomenal forearm. He gets speared out of his fucking brain. And yeah, Roman Reigns wins the belt. But who comes out after that? Thank God. After fucking 6 or 7 long months of waiting, finally the return of CrossFit Jesus himself, the man, Seth fucking Rollins. Rollins comes in there, slides in, pedigrees the shit out of Roman Reigns, holds up the belt. I haven't heard a pop like that from the fans in such a long time. And as much as I love Seth Rollins as a heel, that's the point where they should have made him a babyface. Do the double turn. Everybody already hates Roman. People want to love Seth Rollins. He wrestles like a babyface. He can do promos either way. And it's funny because the only time that the Shield was ever really the good guys was kind of leading up. They were supposed to be the ass kickers. They're the ones who screwed over Ryback when Ryback was facing CM Punk. They're the ones who took out everybody. For Christ's sake, they put The Undertaker through a table, which I think actually kind of hurt him. That's why he was out for so long, until WrestleMania again. Here he's supposed to do matches after what happened, but he actually got pulled back. But yeah, Seth Rollins comes out, and thank God, man, because honestly, a lot of this pay-per-view was kind of shitty. But, there were some really good matches, here, splattered there. But at the end of the day, Seth Rollins really made this pay-per-view an A for me. Because it was really, it was kind of like a B plus. And then just having that one superstar that you want to come back, who you want to get invested in, comes back, makes you really give a fuck. I was telling my girlfriend this a couple days ago. Wrestling, the reason I love wrestling so much, because there's certain moments where wrestling is great. It makes you really give a shit. Prime example, Money in the Bank, when CM Punk, when he beat John Cena for the belt, in his hometown, the fans were going apeshit. He left the belt, blew a kiss of Vince and left. Granted, they should have probably dragged that out, have Punk on for a couple weeks longer. But yeah, people like that, like shit like that, when shit really gets wild, makes you really care. Not like, oh shit, Zack Ryder lost to Rusev. Wah, wah. Like, no one gives a shit about that. No one cares. And it makes people who don't really watch wrestling like, why the fuck would I watch wrestling? No one, that's just stupid. No, it's not stupid. It's not for you, maybe. But there's shit like that, like say what happened with Seth Rollins at the end of this pay-per-view, that makes me proud to be a wrestling fan. It makes me really give a fuck, because it really is people who put that dedication and make people really give a shit, just waiting for that fucking explosion of people loving that shit. So, yeah, Roman Reigns kept the belt, but the biggest story on that, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came back. So, I didn't tell you guys, next podcast, when me and Nick are actually back together. Oh, and by the way, the reason that we're not together, like, we're not going to do a podcast tonight, I told Nick, I was like, dude, I promised everybody on Twitter and on Facebook, yeah, we're not a huge podcast yet, but honestly, we need to, stay solid at what we're supposed to do. Keep on track, be on time, and do that shit. So I decided, you know what, hey, let me just cover the weeks that we missed. I'll man up, because I was the one who fucked it up. I'll man up and I'll fucking do this. You have fun with your friends, because that's what he's doing. He needs to have fun, because honestly, I fucked this up. I was the one who didn't show up. I was the one who on radio silence for fucking 4 days. So he deserves to have fun. I'm the one who should be here by myself right now, who's, basically covering the shit that you guys already know. So we're doing, on the next episode of the Wrestling Gremlins podcast, we are doing the draft. We're going to have Nick have a pick and I have a pick. Jesus Christ. I have a pick. And we're going to go from there. We're going to one pick each. And then the rest is going to be all in a hat. And we're going to pick them out. Of course, we're going to review Raw. And yeah, we're going to do Raw. We're not going to do SmackDown or NXT, which we will. We actually might do an NXT takeover. So don't quote me. We actually might record a little bit later so we actually get it on Saturday, but actually have a preview or review for NXT TakeOver The End, where it's going to be Nia Jax versus Asuka. It's going to be a cage match between Samoa Joe and Finn Balor. American Alpha versus the Revival in the rematch. And the main match I'm really looking forward to, the greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries versus the King of Strong Style. Yeah, King of Strong Style, Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura is going to be a star if they allow him to be it. He's just so charismatic. He's so good in the ring, and he looks like everything fucking hurts, being why he's the King of Strong Style. So next week, you're going to get the Wrestling Gremlins podcast draft. I'm not sure if I'm Raw or SmackDown. We haven't decided that yet, but I know since I'm the champion, I'm going first. Thank you, Nick, for that, by the way. That was his idea. With that all being said, let's get down to, God, a boring, fucking boring episode of Monday Night Raw. I'm not sure what was worse, Monday Night Raw in a whole, or just the whole dance-off between Stephanie, which actually never happened. Thank Jesus. I don't want to see ugly tits fucking twerk. Not a big fan of that. Nick, on the other hand, actually wanted to see it. I don't think it was for sexual reasons. I think he's wanted to see it because, dude, that would be just a fucking shit show. But the one thing I did like out of this whole promo, you know, from the New Day was just like, how are you going to break up the New Day? How are you going to do that? You're going to have Francesca number 2? No, she needs to be with her 3 fathers, you know? And then you have Xavier Woods, or not Xavier Woods, Big E. It's like, no, Stephanie, hold the door, hold the door. You know, Game of Thrones reference. And after that, of course, you have Kofi saying, too soon. You know, where you have, after that, you have Shane saying, I'll answer these questions. Yeah, I'll dance. And then Stephanie's like, I can't answer that. I can't do that. I can't answer that. I don't really want to dance. And then, you know, Shane had to kind of push her to the limit. Yeah, you know, and she was dodging. In the words of New Day, she was dodging those questions. Dodging. Yeah. Went right before Stephanie, thank God, didn't twerk. The vaudevillain saved the day for, I'd say, 75% of the people who did not want to see that. Maybe you do. Who the fuck am I, like I said earlier? So the vaudevillains come out. The coolest thing about this, the match was actually pretty good. But the best part of it, the club. The club comes out and just beats the shit out of the New Day. Even the vaudevillains, like, they got in there. You see Big E in the ring. The vaudevillains are in there. The club's in there. They're like, by all means, fuck him up. Don't fuck us up. Just go to town. Hit him with a magic killer. I think this is what, I know a lot of people are wishy-washy on the club. You know, some people are like, oh, dude, it's just Festus, and who the fuck is Carl Anderson? Check out fucking New Japan, dude. Like, these guys, you put, say, Festus, you know, but, you know, Luke Gallows again, you know, the veteran of the Straight Edge Society, which WWE will never mention. You have them, and he's been working every gimmick that they gave him. You know, he was, you know, in the Straight Edge Society. He was Festus. You know, and even in TNA, man, he was Doc Gallows. He was part of the Aces and Eights. Aces and Eights was fucking horrible, too. But then he made himself in Japan, and he came back with a name because he's that good. They beat the shit out of the New Day, you know, and that's where that next feud needs to go. And I'm hoping at Money in the Bank, that's going to be the tag team match. And I'm predicting, if you're listening, Nick, that's my pick. I'm taking the club over the New Day if that match actually goes down. Yeah, the next match, you know, I mean, the Usos, I'm not even gonna get into it, man. Like, it's just so fucking sad. The Usos are the Usos. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna get their victories. Did anybody think it was gonna go any other way on this match? Like, it's man, it's kind of getting embarrassing at some points. But the next match after that was Zack Ryder versus Rusev. And I talked about this earlier. You can do the accolade to certain people, and it will work. Like this match, it worked. You know, you had Zack Ryder doing the broski boot a few times in the corner. And after that, wait, no, actually, I forgot to tell you who the Usos even fought. They fought, as everybody's been saying on the internet community, wrestling community. They've been saying they call him Febreze, but they're actually Breeze Dongo. Such a fucking stupid name, but yeah, so Usos won that match. But yeah, going back to, you know, Rusev versus Ryder, you have Rusev, you know, he dodges the Rough Rider, and all of a sudden he just goes there and grabs him, puts him in the accolade. Like, he didn't even have to set up for it. He just fucked him up and just got him in it, held it quick, and just brought him back. Very brutal. And so Rusev got the win on that. But the big story on that one is Titus O'Neil. Since his Memorial Day, he's like, You say you're the greatest American? You're the greatest American? Nah, this is Memorial Day. You don't say that on Memorial Day. In America, we fight. He comes in there, and he looks like he connects. He straight right hooks. Was it right? It might be a left. I think it might have been a left hook right to Rusev's face, and it looked like it hurt. Like you can see Rusev holding his jaw, pissed off, like what the fuck? Maybe he sold it. Maybe it was just that good, but it looked like that connected pretty bad. So I'm assuming at Money in the Bank, I'm assuming it's going to be Rusev versus Titus O'Neil. I don't see O'Neil winning because the whole Vince and him thing. But maybe that's saying, maybe we shouldn't suspend you for so long. Maybe you actually deserve this. You do a lot of good charitable things. You were Father of the Year. And he's not the worst. He's actually pretty good on the mic. And he's a big dude. But I think since Rusev just got it, I don't see Rusev losing it. So once again, my pick of that will be Rusev. But, that's a couple weeks down the road when we do our prediction show. Next match was Enzo Amore and Big Cass versus the Dudleys. How many fucking times are we going to see this match? It's like watching Alberto Del Rio versus Sheamus back on SmackDown so many times. Tired of it. Yes, I like Big Cass, I like Enzo, and I like the Dudleys. Put them against someone else. The Dudleys already put them over. How many times can you have to put these guys over? They're already over. You got to give them someone else to go against. It's tiresome. Of course, Enzo and Cass, once again, gets the victory. The next thing that happens is the thing that everybody is talking about. The only thing that made this fucking whole Monday Night Raw worthwhile. The return of John Cena. And no. John Cena sucks. Yes, I'm not a big John Cena fan. My sister probably doesn't listen to the show. She loves him. I fucking hate John Cena. He comes out, and people are loving him. Like, they're actually like, there's a few John Cena sucks. It's 50-50, but the fans actually kind of cared. Maybe it was that canned, the canned heat, the pops, people loving him. 'Cause I don't know. John Cena is always 50-50. A lot of boos if you're in certain towns. A lot of cheers if you're in certain towns. Kids love him. Ladies love him. Army dudes love him because he pretends to be a Marine. And he does it, he does his John Cena thing. Like, oh, this is a Memorial Day, America, all of my soldiers, and boobity-boo. And out comes the big reason this is actually worthwhile. AJ Styles. And everybody's going apeshit. AJ Styles, let's go Cena, AJ Styles. For about 2 minutes. It's like it went back and forth with the fans, and it was great. AJ Styles says, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for this a long time. And John Cena says, so do they, because the fans were still chanting. Fans loved it. And AJ's like, I just wanted to let you know, welcome back. I respect you. Shakes his hand and blah, blah, blah. Out comes Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. And he comes out like, what is this, AJ? I know we were going to go our way. You're going to go your way. But what, your way is going to kiss John Cena's ass? We don't kiss ass. We kick it. Even yours. And so they start rushing the ring. Well, not really rushing. They were kind of walking. John Cena, takes his shirt off like John Cena does. He probably already threw his hat earlier. I don't know. And as soon as he did that, boom, he got messed up by AJ Styles. The club comes in, beats the shit out of him, just starts whooping on him, and does the whole too sweet to him. So the club's back together. They leave the ring. AJ Styles says nope, runs back in there, beats him up some more. They leave the ring. AJ Styles runs back in, beats the shit out of him some more. Leaves the ring. Runs back in there, beats the shit out of him some more. Michael Cole even said, how is it the club are like, the people trying to protect John Cena right now because AJ Styles is such a pit bull mentality? How are they like the saviors right now because they don't want to have Cena too beat up? And all the time, this is the AJ we love. This is the AJ I love, blah, 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 blah. They're just loving AJ. That's their boy, But that was the biggest thing. I think that was the biggest thing in the night, which was kind of the opposite of what happened later in Raw, where it was Roman Reigns in the ring saying, get out here, Rollins, we're going to fight. Short and sweet. As long as he doesn't fucking talk, I don't care. Out comes the man, Seth Rollins. And as much as I love Rollins, this was fucking stupid. Just, I'm going to pretend I'm going to talk. No, I'm going to rush the ring. No, I'm leaving. Okay, I'm going to pretend I'm going to talk. Nah, I'm going to come to the ring. Nah, I'm going to leave. I'm going to talk. Nah, I'm out of here. Roman turns his back. Rollins runs his ass off to the ring, gets to about, right to about to enter the ring. Roman Reigns sees him, turns around, he stops, dead in his tracks. Nah, I'm out of here. Whole bunch of fucking nothingness. It's like I love seeing Rollins out there, and I'm actually excited about the match at Money in the Bank between Rollins and Reigns. But this was fucking dumb. This was complete fucking garbage. Yeah, whatever. What are you gonna do? They can't all be gold. So the next match was Natalya versus Dana Brooke. Dana Brooke, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Dana Brooke won. And there's a lot of people who actually like Dana Brooke. I am not one of those people. I'm not saying that she's like Miss Piggy looking. I'm not one of those people that talk shit about her because of her looks. I'm not that kind of guy. But dude, I don't think she's ready. I don't think she's good. I think Alexa Bliss is way more ready. I think she's, dude, what is that? That shimmering, whatever. I forget what her finisher's name's called. But that thing looks pretty damn cool. And how many poses does Dana Brooke need to have when she comes out? I'm going to do a flip. Then I'm going to do a pose. Then I'm going to flex. It's like, Jesus Christ, choose one. Just get to the fucking ring. Yeah, but anywho, I guess I've heard rumors they're going to push her to the moon, which is god-awful. There's so many other people. Like Bayley. I know she's kind of hurt, or maybe that storyline, I don't know. Bayley is a star. Bring her up. Why are you bringing up Dana Brooke? She is definitely not ready. Let her season herself in NXT. She will be good someday. She is not good now. I am sorry to say, she is not good now. Yeah, but we put her with Charlotte. Maybe she'll learn faster. Maybe, I think that's the reason they put her with somebody. That's why she was with Emma, to show her the ropes, show her how to be somebody. Same with Dana Brooke. Well, not Dana Brooke, but Charlotte. Put her with somebody so you can hide her flaws. It's like Paul Heyman, you hide the negatives and, you show the positives. It's what you got to do sometimes. Maybe that's what happened with Roman Reigns in the Shield. You have Seth Rollins, you have Dean Ambrose, you have him be the big guy. Let him do like the spear and the Superman punch. He couldn't work that well, but you had other people who worked their asses off and the people loved. That's what made the Shield so great. They never lost much. I mean, they've lost what their first loss was it the Rhodeses? I think it was Cody Rhodes and Goldust. If not, it was either Daniel Bryan. I'm not sure. I think it was Cody Rhodes and Goldust when they got fired and had to save their jobs. But yeah, whatever. The next match, this I actually really, really liked. This is one of the highlights of my night for this. There's a backstage interview of Dolph Ziggler saying, you know what? He wants to do a technical wrestling match? I can do that. You want me to steal the show? I can do that. But right now, I'm going to do this. So he goes out in his Kent State, where he was an alumni and a collegiate wrestling champion, a beast of it, by the way. Comes out in his jacket, his little towel around his neck, gets in the ring, takes it off, puts his headgear on like you do in collegiate wrestling for all you collegiate wrestlers out there. There are some people who shit on, collegiate wrestlers kind of shit on wrestling, professional wrestling, but a lot of them actually get into it too. So he puts on the headgear, puts in the mouth guard, and right before the bell, they didn't even ring the bell, straight kicks him square in the dick. Revenge from from Extreme Rules, square in the dick, man. And Corbin goes down like a fucking bag of bricks, dude. Just boom. And this looked pretty brutal, too. I still think Corbin's was a little bit worse. But, yeah, Ziggler got him square in the balls, man. Just kicked him. And he goes out and he's like, I got disqualified, but still the winner, me. And he walks away. And still the loser, Baron Corbin. It's funny. Ziggler's funny. And like I said earlier, he should be treated better. And it's cool that he's going through with this with Corbin, because you need to have Corbin beat someone with some kind of credibility. You can't have him beat Zack Ryder or one of the fucking shitty stars, a.k.a. the Shining Stars. You need to bring fucking... By the way, they need to bring fucking Carlito in for that shit to save that, because that's dying a slow death. It's going to be gone faster than fucking the Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote, man. That shit's fucking done. Next thing was the main event. I was expecting a seven-man fucking match for a Money in the Bank, which they usually do, which I still think they will do, but right now they're saying it's Ambrose, Cesaro, Zayn, and for this match, it was a 3-on-3 versus Alberto Del Rio, Kevin Owens, and Chris Jericho. I mean, what do you want to say about the match? It was what it was. It was cool. I mean, I'm always I get tired of these kind of matches. I don't need to see all these guys team up. I don't need to have them go against each other all the time. Have them do one-on-one matches, and then and then have the whole Money in the Bank together. I ask you all a question though: who would you have be the seventh man if they do a seventh man? Me and Nick both think it's going to be Bray Wyatt, and if it is Bray Wyatt, do you have him win the belt? Me personally, not the belt, but the briefcase. Me personally, this is what I would do, and Nick doesn't think it's going to happen because it's only Money in the Bank. You know what I mean? It's not a big pay-per-view. Maybe they can wait and do it at SummerSlam. I would have Dean Ambrose win this. Have it be that Shield triple threat that everyone's been craving and fucking wetting themselves over for so damn long. Let it go down. Let the Shield fight each other. Remember when it was what was it? It was was it a four-way dance? I forget. But they put Lesnar through a table, and everybody popped. It was like, damn, the Shield's back together for a second. They're going to do the same thing against them together, fighting each other. People want to see it. Let it fucking happen. Stop delaying it. Unless you're going to do it at SummerSlam, Royal Rumble, or WrestleMania, do it. Fucking do it. I would do this, though. I would have Ambrose win it that night, and then go to the ring and cash in during that match and make it the triple threat that night at Money in the Bank. That would make people really give a fuck. That would make people care about this stupid brand. Well, actually, I'm a big fan of what they're going to do with the brand split. But that would give that some leverage and make people really give a shit. You'd be like, oh, wow, man, I actually want to watch WWE because you hear what happened at fucking Money in the Bank. Dean Ambrose came out, Shield triple threat. It was epic. Give the fans what they want. Stop fucking delaying the inevitable. Give them what they fucking want. Why do you have to go against the grain so much? Just go with it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't know, man. My overall opinion on Raw, the only few things that really mattered was I like the Ziggler thing. That was cool. I mean, the New Day promo was brutal, but a few bits and pieces was funny. But the only reason this fucking show was good was AJ Styles joining the club and beating up John Cena, which is going to lead up to a match between those two and Money in the Bank. They should make Styles win, and I think he will win the first match. But John Cena hasn't been here for a while. They can say that, oh, he lost because he hasn't been here. Or, he's John Cena. He won because he's big match John. Who knows? We'll see. That's what makes wrestling so interesting. It's not like NBA basketball until the finals. If you have the Warriors face against the 76ers, who's going to win 82 times out of 82 times. I like to see when there's chances of things happening. When you have Rusev versus Zack Ryder, yeah, that's not going to work. Who's going to win that match for majority of the time. But when you have matches between AJ Styles and John Cena, you don't know. When you have matches against, Reigns and Rollins, you don't know. Who the fuck's going to win Money in the Bank? You don't know. It makes it interesting. It makes it very captivating. You want to watch this. Thank God we're not paying $60 like we were when we were kids. But thank God we get it for $10 or $9.99. We get it for $9.99. Fucking watch it. It's going to be great. And that's it. Just watch the fucking pay-per-view. With that being said, man, I just want to once again apologize for not being able to make the show. Nick was there. I wasn't. So thank you, Nick, for being a great partner in this. And for all you guys, follow us. Follow us on Twitter. It's actually Wrestle Gremlins. But if you type in the Wrestling Gremlins podcast, it'll probably come up. And same with Facebook. Find us at the Wrestling Gremlins podcast. You can also listen to us. Where you can listen to us is Mixcloud and always on YouTube. And with that being said, man, have a great night.